Swamp Phone DJ. DJ Flame is the DJ name. If you following Facebook, you see me sharing outside of everything else. House of Reawakening Minds, hosting Grand Shake, Taj Tariq Bey, okay? I see the Duke of Tears, Queen Selena Cordoba Ella, that team right there. Chief Pontiac, Rod Hayes. Many people host Rod Hayes on their platforms. He's on various platforms because Rod Hayes does not pull the punches. He speaks reality. Reality. In the Quran, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, I am the only reality. And I built this existence on haqq. Haqq. I think that's ha, not ha. Fata, right? Qaf might be doubled. So that would transliterate to H-A-Q-Q. Most transliterations. We claim that means truth. But as Imam Asad, Tariq Asad of Masjid Al Aqsa fame in Philadelphia fame says that reality is, truth is subject to interpretation and whatnot, and facts, F-A-C-T-S, or F-A-C-T, singular, now that's subject to change, right? But reality is what is. The attacks are real. Much of my live recordings, and I'm speaking from the standpoint of Swamp Phone DJs, even though I have some live Dawa and stuff like that, it looks to me, I haven't done the research, which I would have to actually scroll down the timeline of the Facebook account that I've been locked out of, because a white Hispanic male, come to find out, is the one who saw me drop the phone and picked it up and decided to keep it and hide the fact from me that he had the phone, but he told a few of his buddies. You know, like I've said before, they basically threw a little party out there and celebrated the fact that they had the phone and I lost. They tried to set me up to go to jail. And recently they passed a law. It's a felony to go into someone's phone, even if you're related to them. I don't care if it's your spouse. I think even your child. You can't go into someone's phone without their permission. So, what happened was they did just that. If you see my old Facebook, well, I'm standing in the middle of Hard Rock with the cheetah print on, the jaguar print on my tie. I got a little handkerchief with it on. I got a little scrunchie, right, with a black double-breasted three-piece suit on. And my hair pulled back. That's the profile picture, Jamil Mackey. The old IG, I can't describe right. I don't want to stop this to just go look and see. But I can only look from the outside looking in. You know, they got a lot of pictures I had in my phone. This is my first GoFundMe. This post right here. This is a GoFundMe fundraiser. Send donations. S.O.S. A.S.A.P. Send donations. Quitters never win. Winners never quit. Swamp Phone DJs will rise again. All right? But between time, Send donations. Send donations. The attacks are real. Swamp Phone DJs came back June 2022. I first uploaded over there like the marathon cross from like Advanced Auto Parts at the gas station. I was down the street from the Lex that night on my way to the office. And I started off with Fiend. Because I was sitting talking to myself and I say, man, them dope fiends want that fire, fire, fire. And the fiends want to know. Them dope fiends want to know. They wanted to know so bad. They was sweating me, you know, man, my swag, you know, when it got to the point, man, things were looking too good from the outside looking in. They just wanted to know. So at the point in time, I had a U-Haul truck trying to move from that slum hole in the wall, that slum, 825 Northwest 70th Street, Miami, Florida, that hole in the wall. I was stuck there, right? Trying to get my things up out of there. The roof, the ceiling, because I'm on the bottom floor. So my ceiling had caved in and it fell right on my bed. I had just so happened to be in the hotel around that time because the leak had come. You know, this the COVID epidemic. They trying to threaten you with forced vaccines, which right now today they saying them same vaccines they was forcing on us if we want to go across the bridge on the port on Dodge Island and work certain job, man, you had to get the vaccine. And now they telling us, Local 1416 and everybody else on the news, and they putting them boys on trial, Fauci and all them, saying that stuff kills. The vaccine kills, and we all know by now. If you don't know, you know now. Listen to me. The COVID-19 virus thing is a man-made, lab-made virus that's weaker than the common cold. Definitely weaker than flu and pneumonia. Now, so, therefore, come June, that 6 months I had in January 2022 to stay there. Mind you, Sylvia, Nard Lawn, them people that advertise in Miami Time paper. All right, if you don't know nobody, word of mouth, you don't know nobody renting a room somewhere like that, woo, 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 whatever you can afford. You go to Miami Times, you know, we the first 5, last high, marginalized, you know, red line type of people. I'm, you know, so-called African American, you know, Arawak, Taino, Bahamian descent, you know, type of, you know what I'm saying, Creek get you gullah. You know, Muskogee Creek get you gullah, you know, that's what I am. So they look at my skin, caramello, and consider me black. Speak the English, how I speak the English? Oh, African American. They red line, even in the slum area, because of the 11th Judicial Circuit Court. Officer William B. Hein, Metro Dade. 11th Judicial Circuit Court, Magistrate Leslie B. Rothenberg. Okay. City of Miami Police, Officer Gonzalez. City of Miami Police, Officer Sensorin. Magistrate, the Hollywood starlet, David H. Young. You got bald head Peter Adrian, magistrate. You got Officer Sensorin, City of Miami, and you got what used to be probation officer, the probationer, Darlin Mobley. They all got together. And on the tail end of that, my last attempts to fight was people like Marissa Tinkler, D. Tinkler, I think, who was the chief judge at the time, after George H. Brown was the chief judge. Around 2008 when I jumped. After trying to put in an interlocutory appeal on Peter Adrian, I ended up taking a no contest plea like I explained in court, because Renee Palomino, the state paid attorney, private attorney, was going to help me appeal from the street. Right? Not only that case, with St. Serene, Kevin, Norville, and all that jive happened on 52nd Street and 3rd Northwest 3rd, where we've been trying to get stoplights from like around 36th Street. Or we're actually, it's a dead end right there on 3rd. So around 37, 8, 9, something like that, where the church used to be. Where they claim, where Tick got that charge for. The man got burned up in a car, where Tick got charged for that. On way down to where we was at, they've been complaining about speeding up until you get like the Edison High. People speeding, boom, down 3rd. They have not put stoplights. They still have not put stop. We won't stop lights, not stop signs, stop lights, red light. To make the charge more punishable by legal code, statutory code and law, when the child gets killed to anybody else, right? And this man, Kevin Norville, claimed he was driving. He came flying down the street, so that's where that charge come from. I jumped. Renee Palomino said he would help me fight this charge. He ghosted me. And I had to buy myself. I used to have it all. I done lost it all now. I'm telling you, I'm taking donations, man. I'm taking donations. Before I started GoFundMe and all that kind of stuff, I ain't got no Patreon. I got a Cashapp. I got a PayPal that I don't know how to use no more. And I got Zelle. Player. Hit me up. Anything from $2 holler, $1 hits on up, man. No, the sky's the limit, man. You can put it in my pocket, man. Yeah. You can put it in my pocket. You can put it in my hand. I'm telling you, the attacks are real. They just tried to murder me the other day. Hollandale police, whatnot, they tried to murder me the other day. And make it look like suicide by cop. Like I explained about, I never got his name, but I reported them because they have a police body cam now. And de Maizière, in Internal Affairs, and Pratt, and a few other ones. It was really de Maizière. Everybody else was kind of like they was on the ball. But they never followed up. De Maizière tried to change the narrative every time I told her what that one Haitian sounding and looking city Miami police officer did in the midst of all them Latino looking officers who couldn't really hear what we were saying. He was the only one who could really hear me and knew that I was trying to press charges on that shift leader, manager, whatever that white girl is at Publix over there on 48 in Biscayne. That she arm robbed me because I just paid for my food and she came and snatched it. I had just paid, got the receipt and all. She snatched it and walked off, and the armed security grabbed their gun and looked at me like, nigga, if you even so much as reach for that food, I'll shoot you. And they both saw me pay for it. I had to leave in a heat wave. This is a heat wave. This the beginning of June. First, that'd be like the first week, a week and a half in June, while I'm moving from the 825 building. I got the U-Haul truck. I flexed. Now, I told that story before. I'm not going to tell it right now. Just the other day, Hollandale police tried to murder me. That first, just like they did down in Miami. That first very singular responder, he tried to murder me. And when the rest came, he kept up the roost. And then when they heard everything, woo, they, then they faded off. He faded off with them. They left me alone. I had to stand around for a while to kind of watch, because they did get a call. Somebody decided to call. Mind you, where we were is a place where if you don't have a one-on-one or a team like handball, not handball, well, yeah, you can do that one-on-one, handball, ping pong, stuff like that. A game of hustle on the basketball court. Everybody else, what they're doing is they have some type of imaginary partner. If you're doing shadow boxing in the mirror, matter of fact, as soon as I turned around and walked away from them digs, it was a nigga running in place full speed. Where the monster at? What you running from? That nigga crazy. The high knee, sweat about to fall. I probably had a heat stroke out here. Nobody said was something wrong with that. Because where we are, that's where you come to do this. And I told him, I said, you know what? And you know why I'm here so often, places like this? Is because I'm the type of person, see, my father is the lightweight champion of California after he became the lightweight champion of Florida. He was born in 1936. Bulldog, Shawty Mackey. Understand? That's my daddy. That's what made me name myself Red Nose. Knows. red nose. See, a pit is made from a bull mastiff dog, bulldog, mixed with other stuff, terrier stuff, like then you get the pit bull terrier. I'm red nose, right? My old boy, they named him Bulldog, one of his friends down south with the house rockers and all that, Florida City, Homestead. And I explained to the motherfucker that around the time of the riots, of the King riots, if it wasn't X, I think it was King riots, my father, I wish I knew the white woman's last name. I don't remember her last name, the Albayan or whatever last name. She approached him one day. He was talking to some children. He was what we call chastised back in the day. He was chastising some children about their behavior. And she said, hey. And she had the idea, and my father's already a prize fighter and whatnot. And that conversation they had led to them petitioning to the commissioners and the mayors and whatnot to have City of Miami Parks and Recreation and the Golden Glove program. And by the time my father got this backing, it was more financial and, as far as she knew people. She was well connected and she had finances. But with that backing and support, in his conversation, he went before the board or whatever they had to talk to, and he told them, look, I can stop, because the violence and stuff is still going. The riot, it's the time of the riot. It's on and popping. They tearing Miami up. The King riot was the worst one. Martin Luther King, not Rodney King, Martin Luther King, they're back in the 60s. He said, man, they don't have anything constructive to do. Give them something constructive to do. This Jamil Mackey talking, Shawty Mackey, right? So he talked them into beginning the City of Miami Parks and Recreation and Golden Glove, and they made him director over the program. And he maintained that up until the late 90s. Him and Dick Lee were the two top people as far as making sure it was there. And everybody else was secondary to that. And when they came to step up, when him and Dick Lee retired, I can't remember if Dick Lee passed transition or not. When him and Dick Lee retired, some guys stepped up. I forgot their names. Some guys stepped up. I don't think it was Lee Gilbert or Joe Johnson. They stepped up and they tried. And they told Daddy, come 2000, and say, man, we didn't know you had to work that hard to keep that program going. Nobody could fill the shoes of Dick Lee and Jimmy James Leon Mackey. State champion Florida in his weight division. I got to go do the research, his weight division, weight class in California. Daddy told me to my face around by 2014, before he went into the convalescence home. I think he went to Paradise Manor first, so-called old folk home. He told me, he said, an epiphany hit him, paraphrasing. He had it going on. Brother Ron, Nation Islam, Brother Ron said, Daddy was pimping out there and all. He said, epiphany hit him. He said, man, what if something happened to you? You ain't got no family out here that really know you like that. So he came back to Miami. And that's when he started really putting his roots down in Miami. We in Miami, if you know, you know. Down south is down south, Miami is Miami. So he came to Miami. And that's before we made a big deal out of Baja's, Carroll City, Opalaka, which now they call Miami Gardens, Robin Hood, Brown Sub, Town, Little Haiti. It was all Miami. Which they made engineered up from the sticks. It was just Miami. Matter of fact, you ain't even had that South Miami and Miami division either. See, because everybody who related to the pioneers who did this thing, boots on the ground with machetes in their hands and whatnot, that's family. Family, distant relative. You got a few that might not be, maybe not, that was here all the while from all different types, not just Bahamas, all different type of islands. Like I made that point before about the 80s, when the Haitians came in droves, which sparked what we call Little Haiti now, and the Cuban to Mariel Boatley. I made that point. Yeah, you had Haitians that been here for generations. That could trace their people back to Haiti. Yeah, hell yeah. And Cubans, yeah, just like all the St. Martin, all that other stuff, yeah. But that's who we talking about. When we talking black power, the 60s and all that around the time, when they came up with that 14th Amendment idea, that integration, and that minority talk. And Chief Rod Hayes, part 2, and probably part 1 too, Chief Rod Hayes and the two sisters up there and the brother, they going in on that. Chief Rod Hayes is making it very brief and succinct, tying it up about how that integration thing is what really took us out. You know, in his own words, you need to check him out and listen to Chief Rod, Chief Pontiac, Feathers Up, right? 6'8", right? That's his Cashapp, 6'8", right? Check that out. And I forget a lot of his sponsors on the platform. There's so many different platforms now that mess with it, you know. I don't even want to say the name because I don't want to say the wrong name. Might say somebody else's right name and send you to the wrong person. They don't even host Chief Rod. We talking about Folk Nation Force up, nigga. Chief Rod Hayes, man. We talking about, man. All right? King Larry Heber, King David Barsdale, man. Huh? Folk up, man. Talking about now. That we talking about Chicago, Chi-Town. Now, that we talking about Chief Rod, Pontiac. Now, he went in. I got a little commenting on that too. Matter of fact, I'm gonna skip that part because you can go there. You can go there on my Facebook, the current Facebook that I got access to, right? And my instant messenger, I got access to that. I can answer messages. I can make posts. You know, so the white male Hispanic, a chick that knows me called for me, and she was talking about I lost a lot of money from losing that phone. You know, Flo Rida had a jug for me, the rapper. I missed out. She couldn't get me, she had to move on. Lost Tribe, somebody, CO Money Month, somebody else got that. Right down my alley. All that time I had that phone, I never got a jug quite like that. That's one of the main purposes to be on the phone. Wake up in the morning, jump out my sleep 4 in the morning. Check that phone and see if somebody want me to write some bar, want me to direct the video, write the script to a video, all the stuff I do. The stuff they done took down off my old Facebook. Now I gotta go and find out exactly what's not there, because they took so much stuff down. I saw it said the live, but I gotta take out the time, and I say I started do something today, but I say I'd rather do what I'm doing right now. But you see what I'm doing right now. And I kept putting it on because there's so many things I was doing. Like I told y'all before, when I lost that phone, I was at Young Circle, Hollywood Boulevard, Young Circle, the park at Young Circle, practicing what they almost killed me for doing the other day, because that other place I was at the other day, player, I was very subdued and tame in what I was doing. I was going over every fight that I could remember I had prior Sensei Jerry Dixon, Sanuki Real Jiu-Jitsu class. No, I didn't meet, I'm saying it like this. Through Sensei Jerry is what I got Grandmaster V, Grandmaster Herbie Thompson, Grandmaster Enrique Seifullah Enrique, Shihan Kenny Red, Shihan Jimmy Green, but through Sensei Jerry. Now I bumped into Sensei Nasty Jesse on my own, but I was already up under Sensei Jerry. I was already up under, and I bumped into Sensei Nasty Jesse B. Richardson at Gibson Park. In there with Marvelous Marvell and all them. Eventually Arthur came into the class, but Marvelous Marvell and all them, Birdie, all them, Cuban Jimmy and all them, they been up under him. I bumped into him way back at like 08, 09, messing around with Bobby Crespo. Bobby Crespo stayed up right up the street from Gibson Park. Henry Crespo, little brother. Jitaloso the Young Drifter on the Southern Affiliate album, right? Who became Moonshine the Pimp. When he started rapping Mobile Pimpin', it was Moonshine the Pimp. And then 180. He went back to 180 on the rapping. Because it just so happened, instead of going after Ghislaine Maxwell and Jeffrey Epstein, they went after low-level pimps in the streets. So Jitaloso being a rapper, he went back to just rapping, but instead of Jitaloso Young Drifter, he wanted to kind of reinvent himself. He went to 180. Just rapping about just how to, like he used to rap, just rapping on all type of topics, like blockheads and on my block. He ain't just go into one particular, because they was doing like a witch hunt on pimps around that time. Yeah, they got a lot of people. A New York pimp named Pimp Tone, 2020, Mink, Top Cat, they got it bad. You know, down the line they got Winbush, or the Calvin L. Winbush, good game. They got the one off the move with Pippa Ken and them on. Almost said his name, the young one. He was young then. Young, very handsome, tall, lean built, always sharp on the movies and stuff. All I want to say his name. He caught a lot of time too. They threw him under the bus. He won the trophy. I think it was Pimps Up, Hold Down, or Cross Country Pippa, one of them. He won the trophy. I want to say his name so bad. Oh man. So you know that's around that time. But like I say, lately they tried to kill me for basically doing any veteran from the Dade County Corrections, no Gant Muhammad. I call him Master Kareem and Master Hassan. Twins, Gant Muhammad. If Dade County Correction had a huge problem with three things they gonna do: Mace, Doom Squad, Goon Squad, or one or both of the twins. That was the solution. If you want to be a big old problem, big old cell with a whole bunch of inmates, big old problem. Sometimes Grandmaster V and a couple of old correctional officers, now don't get it twisted. Sometimes Grandmaster V and just 2-3 more correctional officers slide off and then tighten that thing up. Right, that back when we used to have the weights. You get swole all you want. Yeah. So their philosophy is when you in public, don't do. But you know, Sun Tzu says knowing is not enough. You know, you must do. Understanding is not enough, you must act. You know, and a lot of coaches and trainers, man, they ain't gonna let you just think about it. Like you special ed. This ain't no rapping and rhyming, but this the real deal. I know for a fact, your body weight fluctuates, your energy level wanes, and you need to know where you at on a regular basis when it comes to a lot of things. You know. So when you get down to the basics of wushu, chuanji, and whatnot, you need to go on and get in that gym and dance around that heavy bag and skip rope and stuff like that, you know. But when it come down, what they were trying to say is don't do things that are visibly combative as practice in public. But if you in a public place that's designated for such things, that's what you there for. That's what this place for. I see motherfuckers walking past me of all ages in full gi with the obi. White belt up to black belt with the little decorations all on the thing. I mean, patches on and stuff, they little dojo patches and whatnot. Now, if they can do it, why can't I? I'm in the place to be. I'm in a safe little spot. I ain't bumping into nobody. Somebody decided to call the police and change the narrative. So when the police got here, they was ready for full-fledged food, like over there by Friendship Church. And they exonerated them officers for that. And the family kind of, I think the family kind of cooled down on that. Man, they killed that boy. And they didn't have to. The one who said, I'm God, and he said something else. They didn't have to kill him. They could have tased him. They had feet of distance. I mean, quite a bit of feet of distance on him. They could have just tased him. They killed him. What about Friendship Church? What that, 58, 56? 58? 58, 58, 58, 58. More like 58. Right up in there. So some sinister snake said that, or somebody who don't hardly come to the gym saw that and thought, because what I'm doing is teaching myself. Since the Nisi Goju class, Sensei Barak and all them, and the Sanukis, Real Jiu-Jitsu class, whoever teaching that now. Shion Jimmy passed away. Cashapp passed away. Simplify. Till we die. Sensei Amnon passed away. Professor Jerry Denson, 8th Dan, he passed away. And all the ones who survived, and Shion Jimmy wasn't doing it anyway. Nobody was doing it for me. But Sensei Jerry even extended the courtesy of saying he would teach me for free. Just get the class. And at the time, Locking It Down Records, Miami Mac, Salahuddin, they wasn't paying me for nothing I was doing around me. I had to scratch and scrape. I couldn't afford to catch the bus. Nothing. I ain't gonna go to jail for selling my food stamps at the Arab store or wherever. So what do I do? So what I do is go over. I lost it all. I lost it all, man. I need donation. They got all my books, all my writings, all my crayons, all my paintbrushes, everything you can think of. Glitter, everything I own is gone. Seashells, you name it. Clothes, shoe, everything, every stitch, every grain, everything I own is gone. Because as a result of these attacks on everything I had amassed and built up, and like I say, even locked out of some intellectual property and to interact with that, like the email, laptops. The USB drive was stolen when they stole my carry-on bag in the U-Haul truck when they Baker-acted me downtown by the Checkers. Down there on like round close to 15th Street, Biscayne. When he tried to have me suicide by cops, so they would say when they changed the narrative. But really what he did was try to make it look like I was reaching for a gun in my Dickie overall suit. And I was smart enough to pull my TWIC card and my Dodge Island, Port of Miami ID that was hanging around my neck. I pulled the string from that part around my carotid artery and pulled it out with my elbow and hand high in the air so everybody can see my hand wasn't reaching into the coverall when he felt like I had a shoulder holster on and was reaching for a gun. Mind you, this around the time they still looking for the people, them 3 or 4 guys. Remember Devontae Bonds rode through El Moolah parking lot and relayed the information back to them 3 or 4 guys that jumped out in the cut behind the building that could see into the parking lot. 20-something odd people got shot, by 2 died that I can remember. 20-something odd people got shot. They got hot power weapons. You see it on the camera, on the news. 3 or 4 people shooting their hot power weapons into that crowd. They looking for them. The car, the white SUV they were driving was stolen or carjacked. Yeah. That's why I popped off with me and Gene Anderson, the hairstylist, was in the 68th Street Chase Bank parking lot by pitch black. Pitch black. It says dark before dawn. It's pitch black. Right? 4 something in the morning. And this a white male Hispanic looking dude called himself. First of all, when we pulled up, he was talking to another Hispanic looking man, a little older. And the man politely, looked like he was politely declining, like saying no. He doesn't have any money to give. What it looked like, but I don't know what they're saying. And he got in a little white car, like a little Corolla or something like that, and he pulled off. But for all I know, they could be plotting, and he gonna be down the street in case they don't get this car we in, he can run and jump in that, because for all I don't know what they saying. So he pulled off. So it's two guys, another older looking guy, and a young looking guy, and the older looking guy, he's sitting on the curb. But who does this? Who panhandles and loiters at the bank, especially in the pitch black after dark? And right now is the time people going to work, so a lot of people got to go to the bank right quick. Because they need gas money, they need lunch money, stuff like that. They run to the bank and get some cash. Like want to play Florida Lotto, buy some scratch off or something like that. They run and get some cash. Coffee money, stuff like that out the bank. I'm thinking about my sister, my half-sister's mother. I got more than one. My father had more than one wife in his lifetime. I got brothers and I got siblings from different women. Think about my aunts, my female cousins and stuff, my female nieces, and my friends and neighbors, females. The mother of my child will be my child. That same bank, circumstance, what have it, they go when we leave. I say, man, who does that? And now it's me. Fuck everybody else. It's me. So when I look at Gene and tell him I'm feeling uneasy about this, Gene say the same thing. I said, okay. So we won't pull up right there by the ATM like he started to do. Gene trying to figure out what he wants. Gene, this fool gonna pull up into the drive-thru. Why you do that, dumbass? You have on the south side and the north side entry-exit driveway. You can come in, you can go out. There are fees in the 68th, 69th, I think approximately 68th and 69th Street, right? Northeast, Biscayne. This nigga pull up into the drive-thru, but you can't just, what the fuck? And then he stops and slowly agonizing still backs out of it all. And in reverse direction, I think he did, I think in reverse direction. Now we facing north. Yeah, and he stops. So the younger dude comes up to my side first, and I'm like, pull off. Right? Gene let him come up. He didn't come to me, he went around the Gene side. He shouldn't have never made it around it without us pulling off. He gets to the window, he smiles, and Gene looking at, and he tapped the window. So I'm from the old school, and that sound could have been the porcelain from a spark plug. If you know, you know. Or it could have been a tip of a barrel of a gun, because I couldn't see. I was in the backseat, as a matter of fact. And I'm gonna tell you so you won't think this sounds so crazy. If you're looking at the camera, it might have looked crazy down the line, but I'm gonna tell you right now where it's at, where you can get off at. I'm not gonna be sitting in that car and he shoots us through the glass before Gene can even roll the window down. Cause they desperate for some transportation, like they took that white SUV and went to El Mula and shot in a crowd with 20-something odd people at a hip-hop goddamn on album release party. Now the police think they done kind of narrowed this investigation down to the bricks and black blues with warring against each other like them boys up there in Orlando in Central Florida. And that was a time such and such rapper, I don't remember the name, they got a beef with this other rapper, blah, 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 and then the gunplay, blah. I don't know all this stuff yet, but I'm seeing that on the news, though. I know that. And I know them guys on the run. I know that much. And El Mula is Spanish. The guy one of the guys whose son got killed, he looked Hispanic. And he was clicking on the news. He was going off by his son, by the jet. Mad as all get out. So I know there's some Hispanic involved. You got all type of YLO, Young Latin Organization, you got all that. We were talking on Gigavelli, OG Gigavelli, thinking about that, all those Latin organizations, when it not here. Then you got Los Zetas, them, they got a little MS-13, you got all that jive going on over here now. So, my life on the line. Gene Anderson's stupid ass sits there. And he done violated when he tapped the glass, as far as I'm concerned. Because the sound, I can't see. I don't know if that's what that is. It had to be something, a key. That ain't no fingernail make that sound. Against glass, that's glass on glass, metal on glass, like a pistol, a key, or I'm thinking maybe even spark plug. In a split second, he might spark it. That's how the smash and grab artists used to do, since we sit in the car. That's how you used to do carjacking. And smash and grab when they do it to a car. Right? If they want to use the spark plug. Now, if you want to use the gun, you do the same thing. Except now you got the capability to shoot multiple rounds. So now, I try to get out the car. The child lock is on. Mind you, me and Gene, we don't really know each other like that. We kind of getting to know each other at the time. I met him on Biscayne. And he would see me out there in 08, around by that time, him and Officer Kitchen, them, whoever out there late night, because it had got kind of dead out there. If Biscayne ain't what it used to be. Biscayne, from about 54th down the street from my neighborhood, 5-3. You know, I'll walk or ride the bus. No, ride the bike, I meant to say. Walk or ride the bike from around about 5-3 by Biscayne, right? Take that up like 79, maybe the one way, 83rd up and down, and go up 79. Or the one way. I take that around probably about 17. Take it back down, go down by 18, what they call that? Broadway area, 6'9", 18 up and down, up to 62nd, right? Sometimes I go down over there about 6, 2, 3, 4 on 15, in the road of 60s. Just, you know, reminiscing what it used to be. Putting the puzzle together, thinking about well, in that area most heavily, I'm thinking about case number 00426A. To be right in his act. Corey Smith just gave back 2 death sentences. Now he got 2 life to dwell on that. I'm thinking about that. All them snakes in the grass tried to play me out, nudging me on over there. That when they knew good and dang on well how lynch mob slashed ass John Doe were going, because they know more about them than I know. I'm affiliated through my main partners. They know. And instead of forehead Tony taking me to Lab Productions with Gregory Benjamin, they starved us out. To the point Gregory got so frustrated, he ended up, even after the album, even after Southern Philly Volume 1, he refused to even get on that one with Wide Dread in them because of Problem 13. He ended up catching a charge in the hood. His neighbor told me, Dread told me. The first one to tell me, he caught a charge in the hood. So many police, Metro Dade, Nitro over there. And he got subsequently deported. Back to where he from, VI to this motherfucking sky. Condor. What they call that job, that movie? With that convict, they had to fly him in the air, Condor or something like that. Air or something. Because that's how much the blackball was on independent music. Just like DJ Raw. You go to his IG and all that, he'll tell you about what happened to him. When he had a contract on the table for real. Like I said it in my song, I got a deal on the table, on the table with a label in them. Niggas gonna flip and wheel because I'm enabling them with assets. He had one for real on the table. They were finna sign him, a major label or subsidiary thereof. And they came and got it, and the police told them on the way to the precinct, we can't let you do it. They were talking about the music, bro. They ain't have no concrete evidence on him. They ain't have him red-handed doing nothing. They gave him conspiracy because he had a record deal. This how nasty they is. And now, I can say now, Miami and Dade. Really, I big could say that, because we knew Broward County. Broward County, we had Broward County too. All them raised by, just like we got Pat Jam Baby, we got Jam Pony babies. Disco Day baby, yeah. and all that there. They were doing the same thing we had, lithography. Some of them had done mastered the job. CDs. Back when that style was out in 97, that Looney Tunes style was out on the clothes, you had to buy at the store. It was high. Like True Religion when it first came out. It was like that. I forgot the name of that brand. Then you had the other brand with all the samurais and the dragons and the tigers and stuff on the shirt. Back then. And all the major holidays and major get-together, all these guys are CEOs and whatnot. And people who had production companies and whatnot, managers and agents and A&R. We was out here doing our thing, man. And it boiled all the way down to the end to Luther Campbell and Sean Combs. And then come up and coming, Ted Lucas. He came out of nowhere. He managed to goddamn avoid all that jive. But just about everybody else, man. Po' Boy music group kind of kept their head above water, barely. And when people like Rick Ross went and got signed to major stuff, like Po' Boy looking kind of sick. Icon music group almost did something. But if you're going to go around, see, this is how God works. This is how karma works. If you're going to go around Greggy Skunk, Greggy Benjamin, Jamil Mackey, Shawty Pimp, Shawty Red, see, Red Dawn, Mr. Murder, yeah, the one who designated his career to address the black-on-black, yeah, not one more dead child. We did have it on the billboard, in the campaign, the commercial. Not one more dead child. Oh, come on, hypocrites. Neighborhood watch out there. Come on now. I dedicated my career right when it took off. Ed Poe, Dexter Wilson, okay, and Salahuddin gave me the green light. They said, no, you go ahead and do it. I said, no. 9/11 hit after, though. It was after, but I was in jail, still in jail. Right after I came up with political science. And if I'm not mistaken, Problem 13 had called me. We did a little three-way with like what not on the phone. Little collect call in Problem 13. I tried to get him to record me rapping to a beat. He said, no, Capone and Noriega, somebody done that ain't got nothing to do with what I'm telling you to do, right? Motherfucker, I don't give a fuck who done it. They ain't spitting these bars. They ain't in Dade County Jail. They ain't representing the MIA like I can. All 5, 3, and 5th on my birth certificate, nigga. Mount Sinai Hospital, nigga. Born 1973. These niggas, Trick Daddy a year younger than me. He's just a little bit too young. He a pack jam baby. A video game, cartoon, movie theater, pack jam baby. Pop son. He ain't get it all. I got more. It's a missing link. They won't let nobody else do it. I got the opportunity. He wouldn't do it. Trick Daddy about the best we got, nigga. Trick, JT Money. The rest of them can have a seat. We ain't talking about potential. We talking about done it. Trick got how many albums in the game? JT Money got how many albums in the game? Music video, blah, 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 soundtrack, blah, blah, blah. That's what you talking about. Done it, that. Potential, we ain't talking about potential. There's plenty of that. In the graveyard, in the jailhouse, and walking around here and gave up pot bellies, gray hair, receding hairline, bald head. Yeah. I remember these niggas' stomach was black and they back. Look about 5, 6 years, 10 years younger than they was then. They wasn't number 15, 20, 30 something years old, 40 something years old back then. Yes, sir. You understand? 49 minutes, I'm going into an hour. I'm gonna break this thing on down and I'm gonna sign up. The attacks are real. DJ Flame is the DJ game. Pimp or Die, that's the clothing line. And accessories and whatnot. Shoes, clothing, accessories. Pimp or Die. When I get off in the jewelry and all that, yeah. It's still Pimp or Die. Alright. Yeah. I'm gonna break this thing on down and sign on over. Right? Open to working with you. I write songs. I write bars. I write scripts to music video, movies. I write novels for books, autobiography. I do a lot. Poetry, prose, anthology. I do a lot. Dance choreography. You break dance and all that. I do a lot. Urban dance and all that. I do a whole lot, baby. The hardest working man in your whole business. I'm signing off, man. Swamp Phone DJ Flame, and the DJ name. The attacks are real. They trying to see me kill. They got ill. Mad, jealous as hell. And I am Mackey, Jamil, the real deal. Not holy, but in the killing field.